Hey guys, Vats here from Aussie RC Playground, and welcome to another episode of RC Pit Stop. In this episode, I'm going to be running you through some of the upgrades and changes that I'm going to be doing to the Nitro Circus Basher monster truck from Hobby King. Now, if you guys are familiar with Hobby King products, you would know that there aren't a lot of available upgrades out there from third-party companies, but I have found a few things that I'm going to be changing on the truck that I'm hoping is going to make it a much better monster truck, and you know, give you guys another running video, because after the first running video that I did with this truck, I actually had one of the steering rods kind of strip out from its little plastic rod end, but it wasn't until I actually brought the truck home that I actually found another problem, and that was the rear shock tower that you see here has actually been pretty badly bent. Which is sort of expected, given that it's a pressed aluminium. You know, it's a cheap monster truck. It's probably not going to have the highest quality parts in it. So, you know, this is the end result of a fairly bad landing, and unfortunately I had to go and get another one. Now, having said that, I could have sort of hammered this guy back into shape. I could have bent it back, but I decided against it. I decided I'll go and get myself a new one. And here it is here. That's the rear shock tower. While I was at it, I also added to my cart the front shock tower, just in case you know, something bad happened to the front as well. Sometimes it does pay to get multiple parts from Hobby King, because you know, they might charge you a set price for this, but by adding one or two more items, it's still going to be the same postage cost. So it pays to get a few extra bits and pieces if you know, you find that you might need them. One of the other things that was pretty bad on the day was the actual body that you see here. It's in pretty bad shape. It took a bit of a beating, which is not surprising. You know, its condition at the moment. When I did the unboxing for this truck, I did say that the body felt very flimsy, and I didn't really have very high hopes for it. And sure enough, it didn't disappoint. It's you know, on its first bad landing at the back here, pretty much crumbled the whole rear end. There's a hole in the back corner over here. The body kind of looks like it's kinked inwards. It's looking pretty bad. Now, the downside with Hobby King at the moment is, as of the time of this video, they do not have this body in their inventory, and I was actually quite looking forward to ordering another one of these, not to run it, but to just have it on the shelf and actually install the LEDs up the top here, which is where they go, and just sort of have it, you know, as a spare body, kind of just keep it on show when I have it on the shelf behind me. That was the whole idea, to get another one. I'm hoping that they have one in the future, but as I said, at the time of this video, they don't have one. So I went out and got myself an aftermarket body. Finding aftermarket bodies for monster trucks is not a big deal, so I went for this guy here. This is the Proline F150 Raptor body. It is, I think, a little bit longer than the stock body, which is fine, because I did think that the stock body was actually a bit shorter. So this guy should fit pretty much straight on. Should be no problem at all. I think that it's actually going to be sitting up a little bit high, as did the original stock body. So I've got a little bit of an idea that I'm working with to try and make the body posts adjustable, because these are not adjustable, which is quite disappointing. I got myself these from A-Main when I was doing an order for something, and I added these in. These are like a couple of bucks. They weren't worth very much at all, so it's no big deal if they don't work. These are the Top Racing Products body post set. I'll probably leave a model number in the video description if you guys want to check it out. They have these little adjustable washers here, and basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be drilling straight through the base of the body post and drilling it and basically mounting it straight to the actual shock towers themselves, which is very much like the original ones are done. So I'm hoping that I can get these to work. I don't know if this is actually going to work out for me, but that's the beauty of you know, RC. You can experiment with things like this. You can see I haven't taken them out of the packet. I haven't tried it, so we'll see how we go. One of the other things that I wasn't very happy with the truck on the day was the steering. And now some of that was due to the tires, which we'll get to in a minute, but I did find the servo just to be really weak. It just wasn't able to handle the mass of the tires, as well as the weight of the truck. So, you know, I guess it's pretty standard stuff for a ready to run kind of RC to end up with some crappy servo. So I've gone for the Savox SC1256TG. I have the exact same one on the rival monster truck, and that seems to be ample for that truck. I know that there's probably bigger ones, more powerful ones, faster ones, that's fine. But for what it is, for the application, this is, I think, is perfectly fine. I certainly haven't had any issues with the one that I'm using on the Rival, and I decided to stick with what I know and got myself another one. I also got myself a glitch buster for the steering servo, because I haven't been running one of these on the Rival, and I actually got myself a couple of different ones. This is the only one that I have from Novak, model number 5626. Again, I'll leave a model number in the description for you guys to check out. It's a slightly bigger kind of glitch buster. The other two that I have are a bit smaller, and I'm going to be using this one in the Nitro Circus. There's plenty of room here to put it in, so I don't really care. Even if it was double the size that it is here, I'll still have room to store it and fit it to the truck. So that's that. Now, wheels and tires. The stock wheels and tires that come with the Nitro Circus Basher are these guys here. Now these are a little bit kind of short cross style. They have a small diameter on the outside and a large diameter on the inside. But the rubber compound is extremely hard, and they offer almost no grip at all. These were terrible, terrible tires. They look good on the truck, but that's as far as it goes. So that is why I have the Rival monster trucks mounted onto here, because after running about half a pack of batteries through those tires, I pretty much had enough of them, and I swapped them out for the Rival tires, which gave me much better grip. I was able to get a lot more response out of the truck, but I'm not going to leave these tires on here, and of course the Rival now doesn't have tires, so I had to get tires for this guy. What I've opted for is to go for some Proline stuff. Now it's just Proline just seems to be the go-to place for me to get tires. I suppose for monster trucks they're probably the best place to go to, but I know there's probably other ones out there. Now what I've gone for are these Desperado 3.8 inch Traxxas style bead black chrome. Now I will say that I'm actually disappointed with the color. These, as you can see, are actually quite chrome. They're not so much black chrome. I was expecting more of a gunmetal color. They do have a bit of a black chrome look on the inside, so on the back of the rim, but on the front it's just plain chrome, which wasn't really the look I was going for. So I'm a little bit disappointed with the purchase, but nevertheless I'm going to use them. I've got them, I'm going to use them. And the tires that I've gone for are these big monster things over here. These are called the Rock Rage. These are a fairly new tire that I haven't seen too much, I haven't heard too much from them, so I figured I'll give them a go and just see what they're like. This is what they look like. This is their tread pattern. Now this tread pattern is actually quite familiar. If anyone owns a Traxxas Emax, I think maybe this may be the Summit. No, I think the Summit's different. Anyway, you can see there's a little bit of similarity there. Not quite the same, but anyway, these are the ones that I've gone for. I'm hoping that these give me some decent grip. The truck isn't overly powerful, so I'm not looking for the most aggressive tire out there, but these should perform quite well, I think. Definitely be an improvement over the stock ones, that's for sure. So that's them. I've actually got a couple of them already dummy fitted. I haven't glued them on yet, but they are here with the rims, so that's what they'll look like. That's the look that I'm going for. This is their width. So quite a nice looking tire. I'll actually put them up next to the original one, so you guys can probably see the different height. The original one is still a little bit taller, but these new ones are actually a little bit wider. So not much, but they are a little bit wider. So these should be a good fit for the Nitro Circus MT. Now lastly, one of the last things I'm going to be changing on this truck, which is nothing to do with the truck specifically. Sorry, I just don't want the bags to fall over there. It's just my remote. Now the remote I've been using for over a year now, and I tend to connect it with any of the cars that don't come with remote, or even some that do come with remote, and I decide to keep them and make them my own, such as the ST4, G3, or even the Rival monster truck. I connect them up to my Fly Sky, this guy has been serving me well. It's done its job. It's got a 10 model memory, which is fantastic, a whole heap of options, rechargeable battery, the whole works. But I've had to repair it twice. It's glitching up on me a little bit now, and I've had one of the receivers turn up dead, where it just would not bind, it wouldn't even respond to anything. So I ended up binning it. So that was $7 in the bin, and that's pretty much what they're worth. You know, the receivers are $7. These guys are worth, I think now they're worth under $50. At the time I bought it, I think I paid about 60 or $70 for this. I can't quite remember. It's been a while. I've decided to change out the remote, and the remote that I've gone for is my new Futaba 4PLS. This is the very first remote of this kind of caliber, of this pedigree that I've had, that I've ever had. So very much looking forward to working this guy out. I think you need some sort of engineer's degree to work out the menu and all the features that it has. It has a great big long manual, so I'll be doing some reading with that. And I'll be connecting the Nitro Circus up to this guy, purely because, you know, I just want something that's reliable. This guy seems to be cutting in and out now. It's done it on a couple of different cars. As I said, I've had to repair it in the past, so I'm not really looking at replacing it with the exact same one. I've decided to go a little bit more pro, and the 4PLS hopefully will give me what I need and give me the reliability that I need. I've also got a few receivers that I've ordered already, so I'm pretty well set up to hook up the 4PLS to about 3 or 4 different cars. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to get to work now, put everything together, get this guy up and running, and give you guys another running video hopefully very, very soon, because the weather is starting to clear up, given that it's summer here in Australia. So that's pretty much it for this episode of RC Pit Stop. Hope you guys enjoyed the upgrades that I'm going to be doing on the truck, and I'll probably follow up later on with a review of everything that I've done on it. So thank you very much for watching. Please be sure to hit the like button before you go. If you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe, as I do have a lot of videos already on my channel, and I'll have heaps more coming up very soon. Thanks again, guys, and I'll speak to you next time.